So we're thinking here about dividing by multiples of 100 or 10 or 1000. So if we start up here and we think about that we have this problem of 800 divided by 2. Well, you might know right off the top of your head that it's 400. Maybe you've just done this problem or you have a strategy you use. One thing you can think about as a tool or as a way of approaching this is thinking, okay, how many hundreds do I have if I kind of get down to my basic fact, right? If I kind of get rid of the zeros. So I have 800s and I'm going to divide that by 2. Okay, so in that case, I have really narrowed it down to 8 divided by 2, which is 4, but it's not just 4, it's 400s, right? We can essentially put those zeros back on. So we've taken our 800 and we have divided it by 2 by kind of thinking about taking away the zeros. So in previous language, when we've thought about our base 10 system and about powers of 10, we've thought about getting down to the basic fact of crossing off the zeros temporarily. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and adding on then carefully how many zeros? 1, 2. Get back to your original amount of zeros. So if we do one more here, this time we're going to think about, well, I have how many hundreds? I have 48 hundreds this time, and I'm going to be dividing it by 6. Okay, well, I know now that essentially my basic fact is 48 divided by 6. So I can say 6, 12, 18, 24. 24 I know is half of 48. So if I double my 4, I get 8. So I know that 6 times 8 is 48, or 48 divided by 6 is 8. So I end up with 8 hundreds, okay, which looks like 800. And we can get our pen and think about, okay, if I zoop, cross off my zeros, imagine they're not there to get down to my basic fact. I have 48 divided by 6, which is 8. And then I get my eraser and put 1 0 on and another 0 on, which is 2 total zeros, or 800. Right, so this time we are not dividing by hundreds, but we're dividing by thousands. Same exact strategy though. We're gonna kind of get down to our basic fact. So I'm gonna say, I am going to cover up these zeros and essentially get down to realizing I do have 9,000s and I'm dividing it by 0, but by 3, but my basic fact is going to be 9 divided by 3. I can use a multiplication chart. I can use what I know, 3, 6, 9. Either way, I know it's going to be 3,000s. And if I go back to thinking about erasing my cover-ups, right, and I'm going to say I'm going to add back 1, 2, 3 zeros to my final answer here, which is going to read as 3 with 3 zeros, which we call 3,000. Matches the wording up here too, 3,000. So we can also come over here and we're going to do that same thing. We this time are given some options. So we're going to say, all right, I have 6,400 or 6,400 divided by 8. But if I get it down to my basic fact, I'm going to say 64 divided by 8, I know is 8. And so then I'm going to add on the zeros that I covered up. 1, 2 zeros, which tells me I need to add 1, 2 zeros. And I'm hoping that I have an 800 down here to drag up. Woo, which I do. So I can drag that up. You can do this with thousands. You can do it with hundreds. You can do it with 10,000s. You could do it with numbers that have zeros in it, and especially when the number itself is divisible. You know that 64 and 8 are kind of paired up. 64 is divisible by 8. You can just get rid of those zeros to help you kind of get down to the basic fact.